Hello and welcome to The Elevator Pitch, hosted by yours truly, Sam Borders.
And Trace Maloney, the show where we create two movies and pitch them head-to-head against each other. Welcome to the inaugural episode of The Elevator Pitch. For those of you who don't know, an elevator pitch is a short description or a plot of a movie, so it can be pitched to like a Hollywood executive in a very clear and concise way.
Are we talking about baseball or are we talking about... What are we talking about?
That's funny. That's a good one. We're kind of... this is new territory for us. We've done podcasts before, but we're just kind of feeling things out. We're really excited to bring this concept to you guys, though. This has been in the works for God knows how long.
Yeah, definitely.
But like we said, we're going to create two movies. We have two random wheels. One of them filled with 100 actresses and actors. The other one filled with 17 to 19 movie genres.
Yeah.
And we're going to spin those wheels, both of them twice, create two extremely different and extremely random movies. And then at the very end... At the very end...
No, you're good. I'm sorry. I should know my place. I'm sorry.
We're professionals, damn it. At the very end of the episode, we're gonna pitch them against each other and kind of just feel out what we think is the clear winner. But yeah. Do we just want to jump right into it?
Sure.
Our first genre of the day is an animated movie.
Okay.
Not only animated,
but
it is an animated comedy, so that's easy. Starring...
I'd love it if it just made a normal movie.
It was just like a very real... Like, this would be the... Denzel Washington.
Okie dokie.
He does a lot of animated comedies I've seen.
Yes.
And Amanda Seyfried. I don't know how to say her last name. You know who that is, right?
Yes.
Feel free to look up the actors and actresses along at home if you don't remember who they are. I literally went on IMDb and just went through the top living actors and actresses and took 50 of each. Yeah. So right now we've got a animated comedy
starring Denzel Washington and
Amanda Seyfried.
Her name. There it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Comedy.
So
how?
Here's the thing.
Okay.
What studio are we working with? Do we want to work with Illumination? Do we want to work with DreamWorks? We can't work with a good one because if it's a good one, then we're...
No, come on. Let's do a good one.
Okay.
Maybe it's their first bad one or something like that.
Okay, so...
I would say Pixar, but they've had bad ones before.
They've had, not counting sequels, they've had a bad one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Disney, Pixar...
let's do DreamWorks.
DreamWorks? Right? They haven't had a hit in a while. I think, what was their last hit?
How to Train Your Dragon, probably.
Oh my god, that was so long ago, too.
Well, they've had sequels, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so what's the angle here? Because there's got to be an angle.
How kooky is it?
It's got to be. It's got to be so kooky, and the whole the whole draw is Denzel Washington isn't very much of a comedic actor. He's always in action or drama.
Yeah.
So he's got to. It's got to be.
So who knows why he took the role? We're not really sure, but he's signed on for it.
Hey, money talks, Sam. Money talks.
Everybody's been waiting for the Denzel Washington animated movie.
What if he's a squirrel?
He's got to be he's a squirrel.
What if it's a movie about squirrels?
Okay.
I feel maybe. What if it's an animal movie? Because I feel like there are a lot of I feel like they're The Nut Job and The Nut Job 2 and Over the Hedge. I feel like those focused on squirrels a lot. So
yeah, they did.
What animal could he be?
I don't know. There's the problem with this idea is it feels very Zootopia already.
But she won't be a squirrel.
Okay, so he's a squirrel, but she's a normal human being.
Yeah.
Okay. What's his angle? Maybe he's like a...
Or wait. What if
Okay.
she's a talking squirrel or like something?
Okay.
And he's like this regular guy, and then they switch bodies. So kind of like a little Princess and the Froggy.
Okay.
But not entirely.
Yeah.
But she's like, and she's a talking squirrel, so it's not like there's gonna be like a squirrel and like a squirrel personality in a human's body. It's still gonna be.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
Are you thinking maybe like a live action animated combo? Like maybe like what's the name?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
There it is. Yeah. Or Space Jam.
Or like a Looney Tunes back in action.
Or Sonic.
Oh God.
Any of those fantastic movies. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is good though, and I guess Space Jam is in its own way.
I haven't seen Space Jam in forever. We could do that and have Denzel Washington playing like a regular guy, but he still switches.
Yeah,
and he has to act like Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah, it's kind of a Freaky Friday, but with an animated squirrel.
So are we set in our ways about the squirrel?
It doesn't have to be a squirrel. I feel like that's something you could see in like a city, though.
What if it's I feel like there's a movie
What if it's a water buffalo?
Now that would be interesting. What if... Okay. What about this?
Okay. All right.
Does this have to be a children's movie? It is just an animated comedy.
There are adult animated comedies, right?
Yeah. I mean, there was that movie with Melissa McCarthy and all those puppets, and that should have...
Or Sausage Party.
Or Sausage Party was another one.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be. What are you thinking that we need to slap an R rating on this for?
He gets a family dog, but he's like a real big drug addict.
Oh, no.
And he takes like LSD or like acid. He drops acid, and then like the whole thing, he's high, and maybe the dog drops a little acid on accident too. And then they're both high, and then that's where the animation comes in. And then since they share the experience of like taking LSD or acid together, they switch bodies.
Where does she come into this?
Well, she's
the dog.
Yeah, she could be the dog. If we're doing it in a city, I feel like a.
I don't know how I feel about this.
It's just a pitch. It's just an idea. It's just a pitch.
We're just playing around in the space here.
It could be a squirrel, and like he's like at the park tripping balls over acid. And then a squirrel like comes up and grabs it out of his hand, and then there's like this funny chase scene where he's running through a park, and he like steps on someone's picnic, and then the squirrel like climbs up a tree, and he's like jumping at the tree, and then the squirrel's like eating the little acid tablet thing. I don't know. Drugs.
I don't know. What else is there to this movie? I don't feel like there's enough juice in the tank.
Well, we're trying to get like the actual.
Oh, you just want to get greenlit. You don't care what happens.
I don't care what happens. Have you heard what this movie is so far? Denzel Washington and a squirrel voiced by Amanda Seyfried drop acid together.
No, I wasn't talking about the acid part. I was okay. Well, let's come back to that. Let's put a pin in the drugs.
We'll put a pin in it. I'm putting a pin right in my little cork board on my Denzel Washington does drugs with a squirrel idea.
Yeah. I think that's a really good one, though.
That's the R rating version. Let's think of like a PG version.
Like a kid's one.
Yeah. Okay, so this one, it is like a dog or maybe a bird or something.
Or
like a cat would be good. And he's like, man, I really hate being a businessman. I wish I had your life. And it's like I don't remember how Shaggy Dog played out.
Well, I was about to ask, all kids movies, they've got like a moral, or at least some of them do. They've got like, what's it trying to tell your kid?
Be content with your life.
Don't question anything.
Don't question anything. Keep working your dead-end job until you die. I feel like there are plenty of those. Well, maybe it's just like find the joy in your own life. Don't.
Okay.
Don't. What's the commandment? Don't covet thy neighbor's possessions or something.
I think it's neighbor's wife.
Well, there's like another one. Don't covet thy neighbor's wife and thy neighbor's. I don't know. Corvette. Yeah. He's like, man, I really want that dog's Corvette.
Okay, so let's maybe. Are we sold on the switching bodies idea?
No. I just,
I do want.
I thought it would be
Denzel
funny.
Washington's voice to come out of an animated animal. I agree with that.
Okay.
Maybe she's the one who's having a hard time.
And then
maybe she like just moved to the big city or something.
Okay, that would be. And then she drops acid with a squirrel who speaks
yes.
like Denzel Washington. We'll put a pin in that one right above the other one.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Okay, I do like this idea where she... Okay. Are we still going for the R or the PG? What are we doing?
I think
let's
we
make
should
the decision.
Try to construct them parallel, and then maybe
and merge
at
it
some
into
point
PG-13.
Yes.
Because if it's like if it has to be animated, it could be like oh god, what's that one movie? Osmosis Jones, where there's like the live action parts, and also but it's mostly animated.
Do we get Bill Murray?
Maybe he could be in it. Maybe we'll see. I feel like Bill Murray and Amanda Seyfried have done movies together, so maybe she can pull him. Maybe she's like she grows up her whole life. She loves this one kid show, and it's animated, of course. And it's about it's about like a talking animal. What animal should it be? Are we set on squirrel?
Maybe a bear.
Oh, that would be funny.
Kids shows like to have bears, right?
Yeah. Okay, so
maybe,
it's like this.
How about a barracuda?
Okay. Now, I'm not a fan of that idea.
Frog.
Okay, well then we're doing too much Princess and the Frog, I feel like.
Maybe that's right. A lizard or a snake. I just want to be more unique, than like a talking
What if it's like
dog.
What if it's like a little salamander? Like, so it's a cute lizard. It's not like a scary lizard.
A nice slimy lizard.
Or a little like gecko or something.
Okay. Maybe
or
chameleon.
A newt.
What? Okay.
Newts are cute, I think.
They're also not lizards, but that's okay.
Are they amphibians?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Still, they look like lizards.
Yes, they do look like lizards.
We could do a newt.
Okay.
So as a child.
So a kid's show about a giant talking newt?
Well, he's not giant in his world.
Okay. Oh, wait, his world? What are you driving towards?
Okay, wait. So there's a kid. She loves this kid show about a talking newt. She loves it from like when she was a child, and she remembers it as real bubbly. She's adult in like this big city. And she's having a hard time, a rough go at it. And she flips on her TV and she's like, "Oh, I love this show." And it like took this weird turn where it's like, and this is where it gets PG-13, where he's like the newt's down on his luck, and now he talks like Denzel Washington. And he's like real grizzled.
Does he come through the TV?
No, she goes into the TV.
Oh, okay. Ah, okay.
Yeah, she's like, man, I wish my life wasn't so hard. And then she
reaches his hand through the screen
and grabs her face and pulls her in.
So she's live action currently.
And then she turns into another animated newt.
Does it have to be a newt, or should it be another animal?
It could be another animal. What's like maybe she's like a gecko or like a salamander.
Or maybe just a person that's animated.
An animated person. Yeah, we could do that. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
So he's like all grizzled and stuff, and like...
Does he somehow have a 5 o'clock shadow?
Yeah, like a little newt 5 o'clock shadow. And this newt is like more anthropomorphic. He's not just like a...
Yeah.
So, and then like the movie takes
not
place...
just a newt that's standing upright.
Yeah.
With its head like flopped towards her.
Even though that would be absolutely hilarious.
It's like photorealistic.
Oh. It's got bulging eyes.
It's slimy.
So the animated part is her learning her both...
What? Hold on. What could she learn in an animated newt world?
No, she's learning that her life isn't as bad and that she should be happy. She should find her own happiness.
At least I'm not a newt.
At least I'm not a disgusting little creature.
I'm not a disgusting amphibian.
And she's also teaching him to find the spark that he once had.
Oh, okay. And then he's gonna restart the program.
Yeah, he'll be like a better newt. You made the end of the movie. He said right before she goes back, he says, "You made me a better newt."
You make me want to be a better newt.
And it's like My Little Pony, where instead of everybody, they say every newt. Because she like goes to a newt colony.
Are they all newts?
Yeah, in the newt colony.
Okay.
They're also very xenophobic.
Is there a villain?
Of course. There's got to be like a Gargamel like wizard guy.
That's not what I expected. I expected like another animal, maybe like a snake
or an owl
or an eagle.
Or an eagle, yeah. Maybe it could be like an owl or an eagle. I feel like
maybe a vulture. I need something like eagles and owls. They're not like evil usually.
Yeah, but they're both predators.
I get that, but
everyone's evil from someone else.
We're going for symbolism, Trace, not facts.
Okay, well, it could be like a vulture because they look nasty and they have like weird skin on their like head.
They're like bald.
Yeah,
it's kind of maybe he has a haircut like Gargamel.
Yeah, he's got the little monk thing.
Can we get Steve Buscemi on this to voice it?
The newt, or not the newt,
the newt. That's Denzel Washington.
The vulture.
You're already trying to take the role away from him.
Or the vulture. The
vulture. Yeah.
Yeah, we can get.
What's he trying to do? What's his motivation?
He wants to eat the newts.
That's it.
That's the whole thing.
That's it.
That's the whole thing. He wants to eat the newt.
I'm hungry.
I'm very hungry. Isn't that what Gargamel? He just wants to eat the Smurf.
I think that's it.
Yeah, so he just wants to eat the newts. And then the vulture's name is like Flargamel.
No.
Maybe it's a Smurfs parody.
Why?
I don't know, just cuz.
Because why not?
Okay, so we have this animated plot, but then we have to have the B plot that's in the real world. So maybe
where they try to maybe it's like really serious and it's like a detective story. They're trying to figure out what happened to her.
That would be actually kind of funny. That's where like more of the adult humor comes through. So who would we need a well-known actor to play the detective and like a lesser-known actor to play like the... What if we actually reunite Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson?
Of course. Why not?
Because everyone loves them.
Yeah. That'd be great. So I assume Vince Vaughn is the detective, right?
Yeah.
And then Owen Wilson?
And then every time he finds like a new clue, Owen Wilson is his assistant and he goes, "Wow."
He goes, "That's a newt clue."
Well, they don't know about the newt thing until later.
I guess that's true.
Okay, so I don't really know what else we need.
No, but like, okay, so how will it like wrap up maybe?
Okay, so
she's learned her lesson.
She's learned that maybe
Denzel Washington Newt learned his lesson.
Yeah, they both learned their lesson. She's like, well, at least a vulture's not trying to eat me every day. And he's like, well, maybe I can bring some joy into this village again. And then he says, you made me want to be a better newt. They share a passionate 2-minute kiss.
No!
No, they don't do that.
I imagined it. No!
They don't do that.
I'm still picturing just like a newt.
Okay. Maybe the vulture isn't the whole problem because I feel like that might get a little tired. So at a certain point, like about halfway through, they get rid of the vulture somehow.
Okay.
And then you're like, oh, this is going to be a real short movie. But then they realize that they don't know how to get her back. So then the second
hold on.
half. Yeah.
What if it's actually Owen Wilson who's behind it all?
Oh my God. So it's like an M. Night. We'll get M. Night Shyamalan to direct.
Yeah.
And he'll do his signature twist. Where he rips off his mask like Christopher Lloyd at the end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Exactly.
And it turns out he's animated the whole time. He was the vulture.
And he's like maybe like something else.
Or he's like a bear. Like a mean bear. Maybe he doesn't do that, but he is behind it.
Yeah.
He's still just Owen Wilson.
That's just a thought. We don't have to do that.
So then the second half of the A plot is them like searching for like an old wizard newt voiced by Ian McKellen.
Oh, I would love that.
And he knows a magic spell to get her back.
Okay.
And then there's the subplot of Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson going around. So we've got like an A, B, and C plot, which is typically a little too many, but I think it works for this.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. What were you about to say?
So somebody would have to like find that she's not there. Does she have like a roommate or like a boyfriend or like her mom or something?
I feel like it would be either a roommate or her mom, because didn't we say at the beginning that it's going to be like
she just moved there.
She's moving into the big city now.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's like a couple of scenes where her mom's trying to get a hold of her, and then she goes to the big city.
Yeah, she drives there.
And we can never disclose what city it is. It has to be as vague as possible.
Americaville,
Townsburg.
USA. Yeah,
USA.
Exactly.
And the whole time, they only reference it as the city.
Yeah, they say, oh, the city. It's going downhill.
Or the big city.
This city's changed.
The city. They never say the
name
name
of the city. It's not like it used to be.
So that way the kids always think like, oh, that could be the city next to, like, near me.
Yeah, I'd love to get sucked into Newt Land.
I want to go to Newt Land.
And meet Denzel Washington.
So yeah,
I know I wanted that as a kid.
Okay, so let's try to get the plot from start to finish, so we know that it's coherent.
So
Amanda Seyfried. What's her character? We don't need a character name.
Let's just like Rebecca or something.
Denise.
How about that? Denise. Okay.
Wait.
We'll go with yours then.
Wait. No, what's like a name that kind of sounds like it could have Newt in it?
There's Newt Gingrich.
Well, that's a man. That's an old.
Maybe he should make a cameo.
He should. Maybe
he's her neighbor.
No, the mayor of Newtville.
That's perfect.
Is Newt Gingrich. And he's drawn just like him. Maybe we get him to voice him.
Of course. Just for a cameo.
At least for a cameo.
Okay, anyway, her name. Now that we have a Newt pun, we don't need another one.
Yeah, so we'll just do like Shelley.
Susan.
Something. We'll do Susan.
Okay, Susan.
Okay, so Susan moves to the city.
Yeah.
And she's having a real rough go at it. You know, she can't find a job, or maybe her job just isn't that great. Like, she's working at a crummy restaurant.
Or maybe she, like, thought it was going to be great, and then she's just, like, not doing what she wanted to do.
Yeah, and that's kind of, like, beating her down.
She feels like she's not making a difference.
Maybe she wanted to be an actor in this city.
Okay. I feel like we can really connect with that.
Yeah, wanting to be actors and failing. But, so she wants to be an actor in the city.
The city.
She wants to see her name in lights.
The big city.
Yeah, the big city. So she's having a real rough go at it. Rough go. Her boss sucks. Her landlord sucks.
Boss? Oh, right. She works at like a diner or something.
Yeah, like a real crummy diner.
Maybe like the thing that kicks it off should be like a bad audition.
Yeah,
she goes home. She's really sad. Then she turns on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
there's Newtown, the show. Yeah. Newtown or Newt
starring
Denzel Washington as the Newt.
I was gonna say the Newt's name because he's got to have one, right?
Okay.
What's like a fun name? It can't be like a person name, right?
Jumpy. Skippy. What about Skippy?
Skippy's better.
Skippy is like more of a name.
Jumpy the salamander.
The Newt.
Sorry.
Okay, so there's so she turns on the
Skippy.
TV. She sees Newtown, starring Skippy the Newt.
Yeah.
And it looks like she's like, "Oh, I loved this show," and then it's like
he's like at a table drinking.
Yeah, and he's like drinking. There's like a loaded gun on the table with him.
Oh, no.
No, but he's like he's at a table and he looks like kind of like disheveled. And she's like, "Man, this is different, but still, I would prefer this life over mine."
I'll bite,
she says, and then she goes to sleep that night, and then like you see a shooting star through the window.
Oh, okay.
And then the
maybe
next
she
shot,
wishes like, I wish I could just like get away from all this or something.
I wish I could be in Newtown.
I wish I could go to Newtown and smooch Skippy.
Have a 2-minute kiss with Skippy the Newt. She's like, I wish I could get away from this. The next shot you see her eyes open, but they're animated now.
Yeah, I just like the idea that like destiny or whatever has decided that get away from all this must mean literally teleport her to another dimension.
Where Denzel Washington voices Skippy the Newt. So she's like walking around the forest because the Newts live in a forest community. Yes. And then she's like, what is happening? Why do I look like this? Because she notices that she's animated. And she finds them. Cut to the real world. Her mom's calling her. And she doesn't pick up. She's like, oh.
Who's the mom?
Olivia Newton-John.
I love it.
But her name isn't that. But we have to get her in.
For the Newton.
For Newton, yeah.
God.
So okay. She's in it. She's like, oh, I wish she would pick up the phone.
I guess I got to go to the big city.
I guess I'll go visit her. Or maybe she's like going to surprise her.
Okay.
Because like her birthday's coming up or something.
And maybe she's, instead of calling her, she's at her door. And
yeah.
She's like, no answer. She opens the door because she has a key.
She breaks in.
Yeah, smashes the window. Grabs a chair.
You just see like a crowbar like push the door open. But no, so she goes in and she's like, where is she? And then that's when she calls her a couple of times and she gets panicked. Cut back. Skippy's she finds Skippy. She's like amazed, but Skippy's like all depressed and everything.
Because this vulture has been giving him a hard time.
Maybe the vulture ate his son. It is PG-13. Scorpy.
Skippy Jr.
Yeah, Skippy Jr. That sounds like a kid's show name.
He just calls him Junior, though.
Junior, yeah. So Skippy Jr. Maybe Skippy Jr. just went missing. Maybe he just went missing.
Maybe he got kidnapped by the vulture and he's not been eaten yet.
Yeah, but he's been gone for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So he's all depressed. She's like, whoa, this is crazy. He's like, you're annoying. That's their whole dynamic.
Yeah.
And then
he's fed up with everything.
She learns about the vulture. Cut back. Olivia Newton-John is upset in in the apartment, and then who knocks on the door but Detective Vince Vaughn and co-detective Owen Wilson. And then they chit-chat.
Yeah. Then we deal with the vulture.
Yeah, this is about the 30-minute mark of the movie, maybe the 40-minute mark.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a little bit past half.
Yeah. Maybe like it's at the hour mark at this point. They defeat the vulture somehow. Steve Buscemi voices the vulture, like we said.
Of course.
He just wants to. They see him through the vulture's like birdhouse because he lives in a birdhouse, and he's like cooking Junior in like a big cauldron.
Maybe they like come to an understanding. Maybe he's like, maybe we shouldn't have him trying to eat his child.
Okay.
So that it can be like a.
So he becomes a friend.
Maybe he even says the line, "You and I aren't so different, Skippy."
Because Skippy breaks into his house with a loaded gun, and then there's like this villain monologue.
God, shoot me!
You and I aren't so different after all. I don't know why we're giving Steve Buscemi a...
You think that'll bring your son back?
He's not dead. So yeah, they do that.
He is dead. I killed him.
Then it cuts back. Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn are like going from like location to location looking for clues.
Lots of slapstick.
They're doing slapstick comedy.
Like he's like, I got the donuts, and then he's like, I don't like cream filled.
Cream filled.
Knocks and them out of his hand, and it's
or he like throws up. No, he knocks him out of his hand, and it goes on his face. Or maybe he
like takes a bite, and then he like spits it out onto Owen Wilson's face.
Yeah.
He's like, I hate cream filled donuts.
I told you jelly filled. So yeah, cut back.
That goes nowhere.
Cut back. Yeah, of course it does. Cut back.
It's the worst movie ever.
Cut back. Are you sure, or is it the best? Cut back. Steve Buscemi Vulture, Skippy, Junior, and what was her name? Susan?
Yeah.
Are flying on Steve Buscemi Vulture to go and find...
I love it.
Ian McKellen, Wizard Newt.
Is there like a Merlin Newt joke we could do?
Yeah, Merlin Newt.
Shut up.
No, I don't know. Not off the top of my head. We'll figure it out. This is just the idea phase.
Okay, should he be a newt or should he be like something else?
Maybe he's an owl because he's wise.
That's not bad.
And he's
what about a turtle?
That could be funny. And the bit is he's slow, like while making the potion or like coming up with a spell.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. This is an animated movie.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing, you know.
They get her back.
He's about to cast the spell and she's like, "Wait, let me say my goodbyes." She goes up to Skippy.
What does he say?
He says, "You made me want to be a better newt."
And then they say goodbye.
And they say goodbye.
She goes back to her world. She's regained her love for life, I guess. I don't know.
And Skippy's regained his son.
And his spark.
Maybe there's like this whole plot where while they're traveling to find the vulture where like she's like saying, "Oh, I'm no good at acting." And he's like, "Well, let me see." And then
maybe she has to sneak into the vulture's base
by
acting. Has to act like something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So then it ends with her reuniting with her mom, and then at the very end is her nailing an audition, going...
Oh, I was going to say...
Yeah?
I was going to say Detective Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, and the mom are all going to see her big show.
Okay.
That she's in.
And then she goes back to her apartment. She's got like her flowers and her cards from...
And then it's... I want this to be the end. I want it to start to do a circle fade in, and then Skippy comes out and stops it and winks at the camera.
She sits down, turns on the TV, and then Newtown starts, or Newtville, or whatever I've said this many of times, starts to play, And then, yeah, it starts to, like, Looney Tunes close. He stops it, pulls it open, winks at the camera, and lets it shut. Roll credits.
Like with a snap. And then there we go. Oh, boy.
What do we call that movie? Better Newt. Newt Friends.
Better Newt than never? I don't know.
Better late than Newtver. Newt Friends.
I don't know what to call this movie.
Maybe we just call it the name of the show. So, like, Newtville.
Newtville?
Yeah.
What if we just call it Skippy?
Skippy's Journey.
The Adventures of Skippy. No, because it's not about him.
Who Framed Roger Skippy?
That's so wrong.
Who framed Skippy Newt?
Skippy Newt. Maybe we could play with that. Like, kind of like have that same structure as Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Who stole Skippy's son?
There it is.
There it is. Let me get that down. All right, let's get into the second one. Our first genre is...
Drum roll, please.
We've got a Western.
Okay. A Western.
And also... Okay, so it's a sequel to a Western.
Okay. Western sequel.
Okay, starring... I hope we get Will Smith. Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider and
And...
Liam Neeson. What a great pair.
The dynamic will be legendary.
Okay, so we've got a Western sequel. So what movie do we need to visit again?
True Grit 2.
True Grit 2, even grittier.
Gritterer.
Well, here's the thing: is this one has to be comedy. It has to.
Yeah.
There have been movies where they've like made the first one and then the second one they make is like completely and utterly different. Like it's a different tone and feel.
Yeah.
So
like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
The Good, the Bad, and the Schneider.
And the funny.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly too. Add the funny. There's got to be a name. We'll figure out the name.
There. We'll figure that out.
We'll figure that out later. Okay. So, what if
Liam Neeson's got to be like a badass?
Is he an outlaw or like a sheriff?
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe he's the sheriff and Rob Schneider is like his deputy or like his friend or something.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Local rancher, Rob Schneider.
Or maybe it's kind of like it's also like a little bit of a fish out of water story. So like he's moving to the west from like a city in the east.
And what would he be then? What's something that's like really not rugged? Maybe he's a florist.
Or he's like a snake oil salesman.
But I really want this fish to be out of water.
Like really out of water. Like it's so out of water that the flowers he sells can't grow in the desert.
Yeah.
So he's in like a real deserty part of Texas, like El Paso.
And maybe like since that's not working out, he has to do something else.
Or he starts off like the first part of the movie. He's this
hold
florist.
on. Liam Neeson is an outlaw.
Okay.
Rob Schneider, he comes into town. He sets up his floral shop. Everything dies. He decides that he's going to become an outlaw and rob banks and stuff. And trains.
He's got it. He's horrible at it.
There's a montage of him trying to do these things.
By himself, of course.
Yes. And then at some point, he's going to bump into Liam Neeson's character.
Okay. What is Rob Schneider's character name?
Doofus.
That's a little on the nose.
That is his essence, though.
Quentin.
Okay.
Quentin.
I'm good with that.
So we've got Quentin the florist, who's from the big city.
Yeah, the big city.
Maybe Quentin's from like Pennsylvania or like.
Maybe he was like Amish.
Oh, he's like an Amish florist, and then he's
Well,
it's kind of
that
like
doesn't really track with becoming an outlaw, does it?
no. Well, it's like what's that movie with the bowling, Kingpin, where I think it's Dennis Leary is Amish, but he slowly like he does non-Amish things.
Okay.
It's not a good movie. That may be a controversial opinion, but I didn't like it very much. Okay. So maybe not Amish. Maybe so he's like from Philadelphia or something. Quentin from Philadelphia. He comes to El Paso maybe because his like uncle died and left him a ranch, but it's like a really bad ranch and like a will. He's like trying to make a business out of it.
Mm-hmm. He's trying and failing.
He's really trying
obviously.
hard. He's not used to the pH level in the soil in Texas.
It's really messing up his hydrangeas.
Yeah, that would be real funny. Like he goes on this like really flower soil based rant.
Whatever the final thing is, it has to somehow allow his floral skills to shine.
Yeah, definitely. Like maybe so. Okay, so Quentin comes to El Paso.
Yes,
he's
there.
From Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He tries to open up his flower shop by planting flowers on his ranch that his uncle left him when he died.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get like Dennis Quaid or something to play his uncle for like 2 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah, he comes out to El Paso. He tries to grow flowers. And here's the thing is he, like you said, he's like he's kind of a pushover, but he tries to be like this rough and tumbled cowboy type.
Yeah, he's like got like the full regalia on.
But it's like too much.
Of course.
So he's doing all that.
He like looks like the Lone Ranger, essentially.
Yeah,
it's like all white with like a mask,
a bunch of like really chapped up. A duster and like a jacket as well.
Yeah, both.
Vest. He's got like the bandoliers or whatever they are that like
6
go across.
guns.
Yeah. And he walks into like the saloon for the first time. And it's like so heavy. All of the stuff he's wearing is so heavy, like falls forward when he pushes the doors open.
Yeah, he pushes the doors open and he just Puff-thunk.
Puff-thunk right on the ground. And like Liam Neeson is drinking at the bar.
Oh, okay. Maybe this is where they meet for the first time.
So does it turn into like this buddy movie? Like where...
I think so.
Okay, so what if... So like...
Okay.
Liam Neeson thinks he's rich this first time he sees him.
Okay.
And then with his masked team of bandits, they go and they rob Rob Schneider. They rob Rob.
Yeah.
And realize that he doesn't have much, so they like trample his flowers. Maybe he was doing real good.
Oh no.
And they trample his flowers. And then Rob decides to rob.
Okay.
So now he's an outlaw.
Okay.
And there's
How does he... Are we having Liam Neeson be his friend or his enemy?
His friend. Here's the thing. There's in these buddy movies, there's always got to be the third act fight that gets resolved almost immediately.
Okay.
So someone in Liam Neeson's ragtag bunch lets it slip that they were the ones who ruined Rob Schneider's floral company.
Ah.
And then there's the fight. Liam Neeson gets caught by the sheriff. And maybe like the sheriff's crooked so you can feel good for rooting for the outlaws.
Yeah. Like, who's somebody who's like would work really good for that?
Gary Busey.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. Because he looks like a slimy guy.
Okay, so Gary Busey as the sheriff.
Or maybe the mayor, and then the sheriff is like they're in cahoots, the sheriff and the mayor. And
yeah, of course. That's always the case, right?
Yeah, and then the sheriff is like, Who's like a younger, slimy looking fella
I
who
can't
also
really think
looks
of
like
anybody.
pretty like cool, and maybe it's Mark Wahlberg. He always likes to do like crooked cop movies.
Okay, let's get Mark Wahlberg.
Okay, so we got Mark Wahlberg and Gary Busey as the crooked sheriff and the crooked mayor
Yeah, of this town.
of Armadillo. Or wait, no, we did say it was El Paso.
Yeah, or something like that, I think you said.
Yeah, of El Paso.
Okay, so after he loses his flowers, he decides to become a bandit.
Well, there's like this couple of scenes where he's like really poor now.
Okay,
Or
he's like
well,
begging?
he's
That
like
sounds bad.
or like he's like struggling because he wasn't very rich before. Maybe he spent all that money on the regalia of like the.
Yeah, then we don't feel sad for him because it was his own fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
They find out he has nothing. They trample his flowers. Then he's struggling, and he finally he goes to the saloon, and there's like maybe we'll get Sam Elliott at the bar as well, or
Okay,
maybe
that's
he's the
good.
bartender,
That's perfect.
and he's like
Yes.
he like leans in with his big old bushy mustache. And he's like, "Look, I've got a job for you if you want to do it. Just give me 10%." And it's like robbing this house, but it's like this little old lady, and it gets real slapsticky at this point.
Okay.
So it's like you're
And,
like
he's messing up, he's dropping his gun, and like
but she's old, and so she can't hear it.
he's like trying to sneak in through the window. He gets stuck.
She has a dog.
Yeah, it bites his butt, obviously.
Maybe we'll get Betty White to play the old lady.
Okay, that'd be good.
This is an all-star cast.
It really is. There's so many people in this.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as you get Rob Schneider, the rest of them start falling in line.
Yeah, everybody's biting at the bit to get into the next Rob Schneider movie.
Yeah, the new Rob Schneider flick. So he goes to rob Betty White. She's like this old money lady who lives in a manor up on a hill. He doesn't rob her at all.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, does he despite all these things, he gets the job done?
Or maybe he does. But it's not much. It's maybe $20, which is a decent amount in that day.
Yeah.
But it's still not enough to be I'm rich.
Yeah. Okay, so he does that, and then
As he's riding away from Betty White's manor, he's crossing the train tracks on it, but he has a little donkey instead of a cool horse.
of course.
He's crossing the train tracks to go back to town to give Sam Elliott the $2 out of his 20 that he stole.
Yeah, it's $2.
Yeah.
And then there's Liam Neeson.
He notices that a train is pulling to a stop outside of a station, and he sees Liam Neeson robbing the train.
Okay, and does he decide I want to get in with that crew?
Or he rides up to the train, gets next to it, he parks his donkey next to a rock, peering over the rock and sees what's going on, and he sees them all the guys running out with comedically big bags of money
With dollar signs
with
on
dollar
the side.
signs on them,
Yeah.
and they're shooting into the sky what's his name from Looney Tunes? Yosemite Sam. Yeah, he's shooting into the sky. So yeah, he sees that and he's like, "Wow, I want to do that. I want to be like them."
So then I think he would approach them right then, just to go for it.
What if since this is a real comedy kind of thing, Liam Neeson is he's a celebrity.
How do you mean celebrity?
He's famous. He signs his wanted posters.
Oh, okay. So he's a famous criminal. I thought you meant he was a famous actor or something.
No, yeah,
It's
he's a
famous actor Liam Neeson.
He's a real famous criminal, a real famous outlaw.
Okay.
And Rob Schneider comes up to him and he's like, "Oh man, you all should teach me how to be like." And he's like, "Yeah, no autographs." And he pulls out he's like, "What do you want, an autograph or something?" He pulls out his thing. His name is Wild Tex or something, and he signs.
Something like that.
Yeah, he signs the
it.
wanted poster, and gives it to him, and then leaves. So
Okay.
then the next part of the movie is Rob Schneider trying to find Liam Neeson, right?
Okay, so then he's tracking him down.
To become friends with him. Okay.
Now so he gets there, they meet up, and he gets on their team somehow, right?
Yeah, he finds him.
We're not gonna worry about the logistics of that.
Yeah. And the whole thing, it's kind of like, again, so we root for him. It's kind of like a rob from the rich, give to the poor type thing.
Okay, so he's like a Robin Hood type.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you're not like why is he like him? So he'll like he sees that Liam Neeson and his gang only keeps like one of the big bags of money, and then he goes and disperses it amongst like poor people and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or he hears from that at the saloon.
What's like the big job? What are we thinking for that? Like a bank? Are we thinking a bank?
Maybe like
It's gotta be to do with the mayor, the crooked mayor. He's got to get his comeuppance. Yeah.
Maybe
he's got money in his like manor.
Or like there's this thing where the town is about to like go under, like financially.
Yeah.
So the mayor is like pulling all of his money out of the bank, and he's like going to be the mayor of a new town. And then there's like this stagecoach robbery where the mayor and the sheriff is like his man riding shotgun of the
Okay. And then there's a carriage and horse chase.
Yeah.
How do we get plants into this? Because this has to be involved somehow.
Maybe the mayor is allergic to something, like a specific type of plant. Maybe he's allergic to like pollen.
Maybe it's mentioned like earlier when he meets the mayor.
Yeah,
he's like, oh boy, I can't stand that.
Or he's got a flower on his lapel.
Yeah.
And the mayor sneezes.
Chekhov's flower, so to speak.
So they're like making their heist plan of when it's in the first act, it comes back in the third. They're doing the plan, and then Rob Schneider's like, "Oh, I remember something. The mayor is allergic to flowers." And then
this particular flower.
Yeah, this particular like
all flowers.
Every single flower. And then like he mentions flowers, and he's like, and then one of Liam Neeson's guys is like, "Hey, what about those flowers that we trampled at that one ranch?"
And there's the reveal.
There's the reveal, and Liam Neeson's or Rob Schneider's like, "What?
You did that? I can't believe it.
I can't believe you would do something." That's how he talks the whole time. "I can't believe you would do something like that." And then they fight, and he's like, "Yeah, well, maybe you should be a better. Maybe this life isn't cut out for you." And Rob Schneider's
you should go back to picking daisies,
pushing up daisies, and he pulls his gun. No,
and he shoots him, and he's dead. He dies,
and he dies, and then roll credits.
And then he feels so guilty about murdering his little friend.
His little tiny boyfriend. No, not boyfriend. Boyish.
A budding romance.
So there's like this thing where he's like, "I don't need your crummy flowers anyway. I'll do it the way I need to." Rob Schneider goes back to the bar.
Oh, how about this? Okay, so they had that falling out, but they don't know about the flowers yet. And they're gonna do it anyway without Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
And now Rob Schneider has to go back, and he remembers. Maybe he's like messing in his garden, and he remembers the flower, and he's like, "Oh, I need to go help them or something."
Well, so he overhears at the bar. He goes to the saloon, and he hears the sheriff talking to Sam Elliott. He hears Mark Wahlberg talk to Sam Elliott and say,
"Yeah, exactly.
Wild Tex thinks he can get the jump on us, but we know what he's planning." And Rob Schneider's like, "What? Oh my God!
What? No, I gotta go help him."
Or maybe he's like, serves him right. And then like as he's walking back to his ranch, he's like reminiscing on all the good times they had robbing people.
Yeah, it's like some memory flashbacks.
It's like a really long shot of his silhouette walking through the desert, and then there are like flashbacks to previous scenes, like floating in the sky.
Yeah, like bubbles almost.
Yeah. So he's doing.
We need
that.
like a good song for that. Maybe we could win Best Original Song at the Oscars for this.
Okay. It'll be a song called...
Randy Newman?
We'll get Randy Newman. It'll be a song called... we'll call it Budding Friendship, because it's like flowers.
That's a good flower pun.
Yeah. So we'll write a song. It's kind of like You Got a Friend in Me feel, but it's a little bit more somber.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's
like,
about friends.
You got a friend in me.
da 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 da.
It's actually just You've Got a Friend in Me, but slowed down.
And he walks out and he sees it. Yeah, that's all it is. It's like at half speed.
You got a friend.
So he's walking back to his ranch. He sees sees the trampled field of like daisies or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, maybe it wasn't
begonias.
that bad of a thing. And then
maybe it was a good thing that I got my stuff trampled, because I found my new friend.
Because I made a friend. And then he's like, and then he remembers there's another bubble of the mayor sneezing at the daisy on his lapel.
Maybe he sniffs one of the flowers that's on the ground, and he sneezes. And then he's like, oh yeah, flowers.
So since he knew part of the plan, he knows where the mayor's riding. So he goes, and this
maybe
is like,
he hears part of it in the saloon with Mark Wahlberg.
So he goes and he plants daisies on the trail where they're riding. So where the mayor's gonna go, he goes and plants a bunch of daisies.
That's absolutely crazy.
Well, we had to bring flowers into it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if there's like a better delivery system for the pollen.
A bunch of bees.
Just a bunch of bees.
But he makes sure that he rubs the bees on the flowers so they get all polleny.
I'm just picturing Rob Schneider with a flower in one hand and a bee in the other, going
singular bee,
and rubbing them together,
just like scraping them together real quickly, and then like throwing it, or just like throwing it and letting it fly all dizzily.
And then it turns out that the mayor is like really allergic to bees.
Okay, so that's got to be it. It's got to be the bee thing. The bee stings the mayor.
Yeah.
The mayor goes into like some sort of like cardiac arrest.
It's very graphic.
It's so graphic. It's
his
terrifying.
His tongue falls up. It's nightmarish.
He turns purple. He chokes.
He
his
damns
eyes
him all to hell before he dies.
His eyes bulge out of his head.
And then you gotta have that scene where there's the sheriff and Liam Neeson, and they gotta have the shootout.
Maybe there's also like this scene during where they're making their friendship where Rob Schneider gives him like his lucky flask, and you think that Liam Neeson gets shot at the end of the shootout, but it hits the flask in the pocket.
No, it's got to be like his lucky like shovel or spade or something, like a little hand thing. Stop!
What is that? Trowel. His lucky trowel. He's like, I want you to have this. And he puts the trowel in his thing. He's like, sure, I'll take this. And he puts the trowel in his thing.
And then later, you think he got shot, and then he pulls it out, and it's got a dent in it, and the bullet's in there.
Well, he falls down because it still hurt. He did still get shot, but
he got shot in the chest.
and Mark Wahlberg is like walking up to him all cockily, like strutting, and then Liam Neeson on the ground.
He's like, well. This is all you got in you, type of thing.
And he's like about to shoot Rob Schneider, but then Liam Neeson like pulls his gun from the ground and shoots him in the back.
Oh, okay. Because I was almost imagining the other thing.
What?
Like he's walking up on Liam Neeson.
Well, think
Rob Schneider.
You think okay?
Maybe shoots the gun out of the sheriff's hand or something.
And then they tie him up.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking it more like I was thinking it more like you think Liam Neeson dies. It's like a fake out death.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's just monologuing then. Like, that's all he had in him. What a turd. I think that's about the level of dialogue that'll be in this movie. So,
What a flippin' turd.
what a turd!
What
bro.
a flipping turd. Uh, so yeah, Rob Schneider shoots the gun out of his hand, and then his ragtag team of bandits
And his box full of bees.
and his box of bees tie him up, and then he goes and he checks on Liam Neeson, and Liam Neeson opens his eyes. He's like, "I'm not actually dead," and he pulls out the trowel.
Yeah.
So
Now, how's it wrap up? Rob Schneider's the new mayor.
and Liam Neeson is the sheriff,
Boom.
and his ragtag team is all of his deputies.
Yeah, they're just like hanging out. This is the best movie ever made.
This is literally the best. The last one wasn't as good. This one is literally the best. I think
I don't know. They're pretty
know.
good.
Yeah, they are. Okay.
Anyway.
Let's get the. Oh, we have to think of a name real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Do we want to include like something with the flowers or the trowel?
Pocket full of posies.
That's perfect. Oh no, it has to be a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot about the sequel. The Good, the Bad, and the Flower. Or what's like a... Is there like a flower that sounds like ugly?
I don't know.
Or what if it's like tulip, or not tulip, tulip grit. So, and then it's also the play on the number 2. Tulip grit.
That's horrible. And
Rob,
I guess that's the title.
Rob Schneider, or not Rob Schneider, Liam Neeson has the eye patch.
Yeah, of course. God. Okay.
Okay, so we've got tulip grit. Okay, so while we were kind of doing what we need to do, we realized that we didn't get all the sequel-y aspects of the movie. It was supposed to be more of a sequel.
Yeah.
In name, it is. It's Tulip Grit.
Yeah,
but it needs to be like an actual sequel. So, Sam, you say what we fixed.
First off, I think Quentin should be Rooster Cogburn's nephew.
And Rooster Cogburn is the main character from True Grit, just to let you all know.
To clear up all that.
Spoiler alert.
He left him.
Yeah, spoiler alert. He dies at the end of True Grit.
He bites it hard.
So it's like a couple of months. It's set a couple of months after the end of True Grit.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what else?
Also, I believe True Grit is set in Arkansas, so
okay,
we should do that instead of
Texas.
Texas.
Switch it. Yeah, we'll switch Texas, and then that makes it a little less tacky that Liam Neeson's character is Wild Tex.
He lives in Texas and his name's Wild Tex.
He's in this he's from Texas and his name is Wild Tex.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. And then we did want to change up one other thing. We thought it would be funny. So at the beginning, when we said he walks in the saloon and he's in the getup, he's in like this over getup of the cowboy. He actually walks in and he's wearing Rooster Cogburn's costume. So he's got the eye patch even though he doesn't need it, and everyone's like looking at him weird. And like he tries to model himself after, like he's trying to be a good guy, and then he turns to crime, but also like good crime.
Yeah.
He's in a moral gray area. Quentin Cogburn is in a moral gray area.
It's a very tonally confused movie.
It is. But yeah, we just wanted to say that. Just to make sure that we made sure we got the sequel aspect of True Grit.
Yes, because we kind of neglected that.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is the part of the podcast where we pitch the movies to the audience, you all.
Yes.
And then we decide what movie we think is better and like what movie should quote unquote go into production.
Should we have them vote?
We could have them vote. We'll do that. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Still, we're figuring things out. We'll get into it. Anyway, so I believe you're going first, Sam.
Who stole Skippy's son? Susan, Amanda Seyfried, is a struggling actress in the big city who just can't catch a break until one day, while reminiscing on her favorite childhood TV show, Newtown, Susan just wants to get away. The next morning, she's transported to the world of Newtown, where she meets Skippy, Denzel Washington. They have to partner up to find Skippy's son, Junior, and learn a little about themselves along the way.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Okay.
All right.
Our next
Hit me with
movie.
yours now.
Tulip Grit. This True Grit sequel follows Quentin Cogburn, Rob Schneider, who is a florist from Philadelphia. When his uncle, Rooster Cogburn, dies, he inherits his land and tries to make a quick buck. But when his business starts pushing up daisies, he turns to famous outlaw Wild Tex, Liam Neeson. They team up for the biggest job of their lives, saving the town from a crooked mayor.
Beautiful.
I
Okay.
don't know which one is better.
I really don't. They're both absolutely horrible.
What do you mean?
And fantastic. They're both great and bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's something. I think I'm going to throw my hat in the ring for Tulip Grit.
Okay. I really don't want to do Who Stole Skippy's Son like that.
I mean, if you throw your hat in the ring for that one, then we can just call it an even draw.
I think I gotta say Who Stole... Just for the title, and it's the craziest thing. I think I gotta give it to Who Stole Skippy's Son.
You know what? Thinking about it, I think I would like to watch that movie more. I feel like it would be like a better movie.
I think it would be better in like the way that we're imagining it being.
Yeah. So I think
Tulip Grit would be horrible.
but it's one of those so bad it would be good.
Hopefully.
Maybe it's so bad that it's bad.
Yeah.
I think I will change my mind. I think I'll go with Who Stole Skippy's Son.
Okay.
Just like that.
Congratulations to Who Stole Skippy's Son,
Which was our animated comedy starring Amanda Seyfried and Denzel Washington. Well, that is it for the elevator pitch. Of course, we're going to leave it up to you at home. You can go and check out the posters that we made and cast your vote on our social media. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at TEP_pod. Tell your friends about us, and of course, leave a review and tell us how you like the show. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.